Good afternoon, everybody. You're all very welcome to this information session on postgraduate programs in international humanitarian action that is offered by UCD Center for Humanitarian Action, which is in the School of Agriculture and Food Science. So my name is Dr. Sulagna Maitra, and I'm the director of the programs, the Masters in Humanitarian Action. And I wanted to take a few minutes of your time today to introduce these programs, just bring out the different facets of the program, point out some of the differences, and I'm available here to answer any questions that you might have. So uh, just 1 second, so we'll get started here. So as you can see, the purpose of this session is to introduce the two postgraduate programs in humanitarian action and to answer any questions. So we might have some offer holders. We are in the process of recruitment at the moment, but we also welcome any prospective applicants who are thinking of applying. Please don't hesitate to contact us. We'll be only too happy to have a chat with you and answer all your questions. So we hope that today will just be the start of a conversation, and we can get you interested in this very relevant area at the moment, which is humanitarian action and disaster management. So before we talk about the master's program in particular, I wanted to introduce the UCD Center for Humanitarian Action. And I'm here on behalf of my colleagues. The center is headed by Dr. Pat Gibbons, who is the director of the program. And the master's program specifically has Dr. Desire Mapanje, who is the program manager. There is also Cyril, who is the program coordinator, and of course, many other faculty members, PhD students, and alumni as well. So we say basically that the NOHA program and the Humanitarian Action Program is like a family, and that once you join, you're part of this expanding network. So the Humanitarian Action Programs together have about more than 3,500 alumni network. It's a very strong network. So when you join this program, you basically become part of that global network of people working in humanitarian action, disaster management, development, and all the related fields. So the Humanitarian Action Program in UCD actually has more than 20 years heritage. So it was established by Dr. Pat Gibbons in 1997. And it grew organically, and now at the moment, as I've mentioned before, we have two master's programs which offer different options for our students, and and the master's program has eventually grown into the UCD Center for Humanitarian Action. So the center is basically, it has a whole of university approach. So it serves as a platform to bring together academics throughout the university who want to work on humanitarian action. And it is also a platform for UCD and the School of Agriculture and Food Science to collaborate with external organizations. So whether it's NGOs, whether it's donors like Irish Aid or DG ECHO or the European Commission, or other universities and other stakeholders, even business entities, to collaborate with UCD in the field of humanitarian action. And this is what you see in front of you, hopefully. So this is the global footprint map, and what you see at the top is basically some of the projects that the center is hosting, is the coordinator for. And below at the bottom, you'll see some of the main donors that we have worked with. So I don't know how many of you are aware but the UCD Center for Humanitarian Action hosted the Irish Humanitarian Summit, and it was also one of the key participants in the World Humanitarian Summit. So Pat was one of the experts on the World Humanitarian Summit Organization Committee, and the Irish Humanitarian Summit proceedings were referenced extensively in the synthesis documents leading up to the World Humanitarian Summit. Similarly, we have a program which is the International School on Gender-Based Violence. We have hosted projects with NOHA on the professionalization of humanitarian action. The next project that you see is called BRTE, which is Building Resilience Through Education, which is a project which the center is involved in now. And it is the main collaboration there is with Walaita Sodo University in Ethiopia and Concern Worldwide. Then, of course, we have the Network on Humanitarian Action, which is a unique network of European and non-European universities that deliver education in humanitarian action. And then we have the PRUV, which is resilience, building resilience in urban or reducing urban vulnerabilities. And this is a project that has just concluded. So all these projects, they are the center coordinated these projects in collaboration with not only academic institutions but also other universities, NGOs, private institutions, the governments, etc. So, and you can see that there is, in terms of the global footprint, there is also, we have networks all over the world. The reason that I'm kind of giving this sort of a background for this information event is to, I suppose, stress the point that this is also the approach we take towards the master's education. So it is our belief that we, in order to provide the best education, in order to deliver the best master's program in humanitarian action, we would like to bring that research into the classroom. So we really treat our students as colleagues. So when you are a master's student with us, you will be working with us on some of these projects. You will be interacting with academics and practitioners who are involved in these projects. And we also take a multidisciplinary approach to the masters. So no matter what is whatever your background, whether you're new to the sector or whether you are returning to academia after being a practitioner for a while, you will be able to find a space for yourself on the masters. So this is why I wanted to go a bit into the history that the center has organically developed from the masters, and now within the center, the research and the education kind of reinforce each other. So with that background, I would now like to go into the two different master's programs. So the center and the School of Agriculture and Food Science, we offer two master's programs which are tailored for slightly different target audience, I would say. And we will be happy to discuss with you to help you choose the program that best suits your needs. So the first program that I'm going to talk about is the 2 years joint masters in international humanitarian action that we offer in collaboration with or as a part of the Network on Humanitarian Action Consortium. So given that this is a joint program and it is funded by the Erasmus Mundus, so it is an Erasmus Masters, which as all of you know, it's quite prestigious. It has a very strong mobility component. The program is 2 years, and the total fee for the program, whether you're a European student or a non-European student, is 12,000 euros. Now here we get every year, we get about this year, we have about 200 applicants. And we normally select around 25 students. So it is a competitive program. But I'm absolutely sure that you'll be well up for this competition. So what you have in front of you is the pathway or the learning path of the program. So what happens is that after you get admission, we start off with an intensive program. Now, this intensive program brings together students from all the partner universities. So there are 8 partner universities across Europe that jointly deliver this master's. And so every year, usually in Warsaw, we would have 140 participants and an equal number of academics coming together to deliver the program. Now, of course, for last year, because of COVID, we couldn't host the intensive program in person, so we had an online component. And this year, we are monitoring the situation very closely, but it is likely to be an online component. There is likely to be an online component with an on-site maybe at your home university. So we will have some on-site component in UCD, but of course this depends on the health and safety situation. Then the next phase is the core courses. So this is where students start off at their home university studying 5 subjects that are core to the master's program. So these are world politics and humanitarian action, management and humanitarian action, public health, uh, anthropology and socio and intercultural studies, and legal dimensions of humanitarian action. So I hope I haven't missed out anyone. So these are the 5 core subjects, and the syllabus and the learning outcomes for this are the same in all the universities. Then after the first semester, which sort of ends at the end of January, you move to another university, which is any of the European universities which offer you a specialization. So you could choose to, depending on your background, your language capacities, etc., you could choose to go to Spain to specialize in humanitarian protection. You could go to Bochum, where in Germany, where you could specialize in legal dimensions. You could go to Groningen in the Netherlands, where you could specialize in human security. You could go to Uppsala, where you could specialize in peace and conflict. So we offer different specializations, and that is where you'll be kind of doing your what we call orientation. So adopting a sort of an interdisciplinary interdisciplinary specialization. Then the third semester is a unique opportunity where you can either choose to do a regional track, which is where you take courses which are offered by our partner universities outside of Europe to specialize in humanitarian action in that region. So, for example, you could go to Tata Institute of Social Sciences in India to specialize in humanitarian action in India and South Asia. Equally, you could go to Javeriana University in Bogota to specialize in humanitarian action in Colombia. And there are numerous other opportunities as well, and the different universities are listed on the NOHA website. Equally, if you're not interested in doing coursework and if you're really interested in gaining work experience, NOHA will support you in getting a work placement so that you can get a work experience, whether it can be within Europe or outside of Europe. And this is where our 3,500 plus strong alumni, they come in they've been very helpful. There is a mentorship program, there's a buddy program and there is a graduates platform where you actually get help to find an internship and to look for suitable positions. And then the final component of the NOHA Masters program is a master's thesis. So this is again 30 credits. And here here you kind of choose your niche area. So over the 1.5 years, you would have had the opportunity to develop a special interest. And this is where you do your master's thesis. And we kind of encourage students to marry the work placement or the regional specialization with the master's thesis, so that when you're coming out of this master's, you have not only have done 60 credits worth of taught component, but you also have 60 credits or 1 year of work and research experience. So this basically sets you apart, especially if you're a younger student kind of trying to get into the humanitarian sector. This sets you apart from any other student who's looking to volunteer or get into the sector, because you straight away come with specialized qualification, hopefully a publication from your master's thesis, and of course, work experience. So this is the NOHA Master's Program. Now I'm going to move on to the other master's program, which is a Master of Science in Humanitarian Action. And this is the master's offered by UCD only. So this is a 1 year master's where you spend the time in Dublin, and there is a very interesting field trip planned within this program, which is to Ethiopia. So here, so you arrive at after your admissions, and again, I need to point out that the admissions for this and NOHA, they are done on a rolling basis in UCD. So you start with the same courses. So you start with, first of all, the intensive program, where you're introduced to the key issues, the humanitarian principles, the humanitarian system, the key challenges, the key stakeholders, etc. So the intensive program for both the masters is designed to bring everybody on the same page. So don't worry if you have no experience in humanitarian action, or if you have a very specific experience in humanitarian action. The intensive program will kind of introduce you not just to the humanitarian sector, but also kind of introduce you to the master's program in more detail, what to expect, how we can plan your path, etc. Then the core courses, the 5 subjects that I mentioned before for NOHA. So the humanitarian, so both the master students, the classes are held together. So you'll be sharing a class, and I suppose the total class size would be something between 25 and 30. So that's the normal class size that we have. Over the last 2 years, the demand for the program has really gone up. So we have been around 35, but usually we try to keep the number between 25 and 30. So students go through the core courses, which are again management, public health, world politics, and social anthropology, and international humanitarian law. And these subjects are designed to give you an appreciation of humanitarian action from various disciplinary perspectives. Then the second semester specialization in UCD is resilience and localizing the aid effort. So as you can see, the center and the university has a very kind of strong track record on resilience, and also sort of working with local actors, grassroots actors, and localizing humanitarian action. This has been sort of a long-standing approach of the center itself. And the 3 modules that are offered, so you get three 10-credit modules as part of your second semester specialization, which is first of all, it is localization of humanitarian management. And this program has been developed in conjunction with humanitarian organizations like Plan Ireland, Concern Worldwide, TROCRA, etc. It also incorporates an online certificate course on building better resilience. So it is really a professional cutting edge 10 credit module that you'll be doing. The next module that you have 10 credits again is resilience policy and applied research design. So this module gives you the skills to kind of not just prepare proposals for your master's thesis, but also to design research projects and to collect data for any, whether you're collecting data or designing a research project for an NGO, or you want to go on to research. So what you get under this module is really practical skills around research design and data collection and analysis. So you will not only be introduced to kind of qualitative research design, literature review, what is a conceptual framework, etc., but you'll also be introduced to toolkits like NVivo, and other kind of data collection toolkits as well. And then the final component of this specialization is the module on gender-based violence in emergencies. And this is also an international school on gender-based violence in emergencies. And like the localization module and the resilience module, the gender-based violence module has been developed together with the Irish Consortium on Gender-Based Violence, UN Area of Responsibility, and NOHA and many other organizations. So as you can see, the second semester specialization in UCD really offers kind of courses that are developed by, with, and for kind of humanitarian practitioners and researchers who are going into the field. So, and that is our focus. So the first two, so the core courses and the resilience specialization. After that, we have the third component, which is the research and the thesis. And within this, you have the field visit to Ethiopia, which is which is a trip which is designed together with Walaita Sodo University and Addis Ababa University. And this trip takes place in June, where you will be guided through your research projects, and you will have the opportunity to work with Concern and some of the local NGOs to look at some of the existing research. And you will have the opportunity, it's not mandatory, but you will have the opportunity to kind of maybe dovetail your research with some of the ongoing research within the center and some of these organizations. So this master's, I don't know if I mentioned before, but this one is 90 ECTS and it is 1 year. So it is a shorter master's, but you get this is designed for people maybe with a bit more experience or who do not necessarily want to undertake so many multiple mobilities. The cost of the program, the fee for the program for European students is 9,000 euros. And for non-European students, I think it's around 24,000 euros. But then there might be scholarships available, so we can talk about that later. So that is, I see Damien again. So hi, Damien. So I think we are, I think I'm done with explaining the program. Hope I've been able to do justice to this, but I'm happy to answer any questions that might arise.
Salagna, thank you, first of all, for that wonderful overview of the Centre of Humanitarian Action and the two programs that are available there, and welcome, of course, today to all of our participants. If you don't mind, Salagna, we've had a couple of questions that have come in over the chat box prior to this, and I've come in over the chat box, as you said, during the presentation. So I'm kind of conscious of time, but if time allows at your side, I might just maybe raise one or two of those with you. I think you've probably touched on some of them already, but I think that would be good. one of the questions there that came up just in relation to the mobility, and it's somebody who's interested in Uppsala, and I think you said peace and conflict is studied there. Just wondering if you could describe maybe, you know, in terms of some of the modules that, you know, when people go to to your different partners in terms of specialization, and also just in terms of languages, are the courses delivered in English or is there a language requirement there?
Sure. So specifically with relation to Uppsala, the courses, the focus is religion and conflict. Uppsala is, as you some of you may know, Uppsala is really famous for their Uppsala conflict database, and peace and conflict is sort of their area. So this is why we collaborate with the Department of Theology and the Peace and Conflict Department. And the program there is taught in English. Now, for students who are interested in the different specializations, in the interest of time, I would really request you to go to the website www.nohanet.org. And there, it's really easy to find the masters, and all the specializations from all the universities are listed there. So you can get a good overview of the modules. In terms of the language requirement, Damien, that's a really good question. So most of the programs are delivered in English throughout the network. But for in the second semester, some of the universities, so for example, Aix-Marseille, it's delivered in French, and there is a requirement for a high level of French because you know, you'll have to do a master's over there. And then in Spain, they do the second semester is taught in English, but Spanish is considered to be an advantage over there. At the other universities, they deliver the program in English. If you want to go into regional specialization for NOHA, then in Colombia, it is delivered in Spanish. And in Saint Joseph in Lebanon, there you need French. So other than that, all the other universities deliver the program in English.
That's terrific, Salagna. Thanks for that. And I think your advice there about going back to your wonderful website, Center for Humanitarian Action, where a lot of the details are explained in terms of the specialization of your various partners. Another quick question, if I may, just somebody here who's coming from a science background and wondering, you did touch on applicants and the kind of the wide range of backgrounds that you accept in the program. Somebody from science just looking for reassurance?
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, people always laugh when I say this, but we actually get applications from pastry chefs to engineers and doctors. And I kid you not, like this is the you know, the wide gamut. So all you need is a bachelor's degree. And even if you're finishing your bachelor's degree, you can apply, provided you get your degree before September 2021. We also get you know, professionals who are doctors, engineers, or maybe they have their bachelor's in any of the maybe they have a science degree. So what we like, a specific subject is not kind of a prerequisite. We don't look for specific subjects. And whatever your subject area, we have had physicists, we have had chemical engineers, we have geologists, we have computer scientists. So, you know, whatever your background, we'll help you, we'll work with you to kind of see how your skills can be useful to the humanitarian action, and you know, kind of, and guide you in that way. So every student on the program, irrespective of which masters you're on, we develop an individual sort of learning path that you see before you. So you will have one for yourself, and that we'll do straight after the intensive program. And we throughout the course, we'll kind of follow that up and try and link you with within our network, so that you can get the best out of the program. So no worries, and especially if people have specific questions about their specific background, they're very welcome to contact us.
Excellent, excellent, Slagna. That's terrific. And I think just adding to that point that you mentioned, that these are competitive programs, applicants are encouraged to get their application in sooner rather than later if they are
Yes.
looking for a place for the next academic year. Someone who's interested in the second program that you described, the UCD Masters, just wondering about Ethiopia and your university partner there. So who are you teaming up with in Ethiopia, Slagna?
So we have links with Wolaita Sodo University as part of the Building Resilience through Education project. And we also have links with Addis Ababa University. So students will be going to both. Well, again, it depends on the COVID situation and also the political situation. So Wolaita Sodo, the collaboration is with both these universities, but also with the embassy and with Concern Worldwide and some of the local stakeholders there. So students will get an appreciation of different stakeholders when they go to Ethiopia.
Okay, that's really, really good. Thank you. And maybe I might finish up on this one, Slagna. There are other questions, I guess, that are coming through the chat box, but just maybe in the interest of time to remind participants that the School of Agriculture and Food Science have a virtual booth at this event, and we'll be back on the chat room there after this presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions on this program or indeed any of the programs that are available at the School of Agriculture and Food Science.
So Damien, can I just see two, I see two questions, which I'll take 30 seconds or even less to answer. One is saying, I'm French, do I have more chances of being selected NOHA program in Aix-Marseille? No, we don't discriminate on the basis of, on the basis of nationality or anything. You're very welcome to apply to X, but you definitely have lots of French students as well. So please don't hesitate. Do the chances of, so I see a lot of students, like the three questions that I have are all about the chances of getting in. So look, we are always looking for good candidates because like we said, we don't treat you as as students per se, passive students. We look at, we hope to get kind of future colleagues. Like I've done the NOHAM program myself. Desire has done the UCD only master's. So we are looking for potential colleagues, whether in NGOs or in academia. So please don't worry about the chances. We will do our best to just apply, like Damien said, apply as soon as possible. Drop us an email at noha.dublin@ucd.ie. Let's get the conversation started and we'll take it from there. So please don't hesitate to talk to us, to get in touch with us. We are always there to interact with you, and we look forward to interacting with you.
Brilliant. So Slagna, you've touched off on all of those questions. So thank you again very much. And just to remind participants that we'll be over at the virtual booth at this event today to respond to any other questions that you might have. So on behalf of everyone in the school, Slagna, thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much, Damien. Thank you.